Welcome to Vid Guy's Kitchen. Not a professional chef, just a guy that likes to cook and enjoy food. I'm a simple guy, so I like to keep things simple as much as possible when I cook. Today, we'll be making a Vietnamese soup called Canh Chua, or in English, sour soup. These are the ingredients that I use to make the soup. You can find pretty much all of them at your typical Asian grocery stores. For that salmon fillet, I got it from Costco since I was there. You don't have to use salmon, you can use any other fish that you like. You can use shrimp. I've used shrimp in the past and it tastes fine. But I think I prefer the taste of salmon because it's fattier, which goes better with the soup. If you don't want any protein in your soup and you want more vegetables, then you can just load up on your tomato, your bean sprouts, your elephant ear stalks, your okra, and your pineapple. To make our broth, we'll use rice patty and cilantro. These two herbs will give you that nice aroma. We'll also use the tamarind for the sourness, but we'll use sugar to balance it out so we have that nice, sweet, tangy taste. I use salt and fish sauce for flavoring. Go ahead and clean your salmon, wash your vegetables so they are ready to be sliced and diced. You're going to take your okra, you're going to cut out the top, turn it around, slice at the tip, and then I cut mine at the angle in the center. You want to be quicker, you scrap a whole bunch and do the same method. Here I take my cilantro and I cut mine in half. You're going to cut it to third or smaller sizes you like, that's up to you. For my rice patty, I cut mine in third. But again, you're going to cut it into smaller pieces. For the elephant ear stalks, we need to strip off the green skin. So I'll take my knife and I'll make a slice down the non-flat surface side. Then I'll pinch the top to pull down the green skin. If it doesn't come all the way off, you can take your knife and kind of scrape it, kind of give it a back massage, and it will come right off. Continue doing it until you have it all ready. Then you can start slicing at an angle. For shallots, peel off the skin, then I cut mine in half. Then I make 3 slit cut, but not all the way through so we can hold on the end. And then I turn it around and I cut it into smaller pieces. Do the same for the other half. For tomatoes, I just cut mine in half, take out the seed, then I cut it into smaller wedges. Take your salmon fillet, lay it out, then I cut mine into smaller pieces so it's easy to cook and eat. I just cut into sections and then I cut into like cube. Continue doing it until you finish. For the tamarind flavoring, I like to prepare it beforehand, so I'll put it into a pot on the stove. I turn it on to medium heat. The tamarind is going to be a little thick, so I put in some extra water to thin it out. Then I'll take my sugar, scoop in 2 or 3 scoops to balance out the sourness of it. You want it to have like a nice, sweet, tangy taste. And then let it cook for a little bit. Now that we're ready to make our broth, take out your pot, drizzle in some oil, then you're going to pour in your shallots. You want to stir it around until you have that nice golden color. Pour in your tomatoes and just give it a good mix for 30 seconds or a minute, let it kind of cook a little bit. Go ahead and pour in your pineapple. Since mine came in a can that has the pineapple juice, I pour the juice into a separate bowl and I'll pour it into our broth later. But pour in your pineapple, mix it around. After a good mix, pour in the water for your broth. I like to make it for the next few days, so I fill my pot almost all the way up. If you have the pineapple juice from the can that I mentioned earlier, go ahead and pour it in. And then I'll scoop in some tamarind. I poured in a little bit of fish sauce and salt. Make sure you don't use too much salt. You want to taste as you go. If it still tastes bland to you, then pour more salt, but a little bit at a time so you don't want to over salt it. I ended up using off my tamarind since I like that tangy taste, but that's up to you. Again, make sure you don't want to salt it too much, taste as you go. Once you get your broth to the taste that you like, put in your rice patty and your cilantro. I cook mine for about 10-20 seconds to get that nice smell. Then put in your okra. I cook it for about 4 to 5 minutes. You don't want to cook it too long or else it's going to be soggy. Then scoop it out. Go ahead and put in your elephant ear stalks. Same thing here, I cook mine for about 4 to 5 minutes. Once it's done, I'll just scoop it out. Go ahead and put in your bean sprouts. Bean sprout doesn't take long to cook, so I usually leave it there for about 30 seconds or so. You don't want to cook it too long. Same thing, it's going to get soggy. We have one last ingredient, which is salmon. Go ahead and scoop in your salmon into your broth. I usually cook mine for about 5 to 6 minutes. After you're done, you can scoop it into a separate container. Now that we're finally finished and I'm hungry, I'm gonna make myself a bowl. Grab some bean sprouts, elephant ear stalks, okra, and some salmon. And we're gonna pour in some broth. I'm going to get myself a bowl of rice, and I like to dip my salmon and my vegetables in the dipping sauce. Click that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. Until the next dish, thanks for watching.